Hey guys, so listen, if you are in the red zone of retirement, I'm going to share with you in this video what you should be doing right now. So you definitely want to stay tuned. So hey guys, if this is your first time seeing me, my name is Alex Jones. I am a financial planner and retirement planner, and I help people just like you build wealth, plan and prepare for retirement, protect themselves, their family, and their assets, and helping them build wealth. And that's what I do, guys. And today, I really want to talk about if you are in the red zone of retirement. I'm going to be sharing with you some things that you may not know, you may not be aware of, but I think it's going to be absolutely important and absolutely critical that you are paying attention and that you are, watching what's going on. And if you watch this video, I'll explain why. So, like I said, I'm going to be discussing what you should do now if you are in the red zone of retirement. I'm going to explain to you exactly what the red zone of retirement is. I'm going to explain why changes are needed now. And I'm going to share with you some things that you should do or you should consider. So let me just first of all say, guys, this is for educational purposes only. It's not to be construed as financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I am a financial planner. So guys, let's go ahead and get started. So first, what is the red zone of retirement? So red zone of retirement is really considered if you are explain this. Okay. So the red zone of retirement is if you are within 10 years of retiring. Okay, 10 years of retiring. So if you happen to be, let's say you're 55 now, and you plan on retiring once you reach 65, right? You would be right there. You would be right at the beginning of the red zone. Now, interestingly enough, the average person retires at age 64. That is the average retirement age. Okay. And so what we find is some people are able to retire later, and some people, unfortunately, are forced to retire earlier. Whether that's because of layoffs, whether because they're sick, they've gotten older, or they physically can't work any longer. There could be any number of reasons, or they just may have chosen to just say, "Hey, I'm gonna tap out. I'm gonna just take my retirement early." Now, I say early because depending on how old, depending on your age, full retirement age is different from different people. So if you're right around my age, I won't tell you how much, but if you're right around my age, full retirement age is actually, uh-oh, my screen is going away. Okay, full retirement age is actually 67. That's the age at which you're able to get your full retirement benefits from Social Security. Okay. Now, some of you may be aware right now we are in a particularly challenging time. And so maybe you have heard that by 2035, that Social Security will actually be paying out more money than it actually takes in. A lot of people think there's a bucket of money sitting around somewhere that Social Security benefits are paid out of. And that's not actually how it works, guys. How it actually works is if you are still working and you are of working age, a part of your taxes actually paid to the Treasury through the Social Security tax. A part of your taxes actually go through the Treasury, and then the Treasury sets aside money for Social Security program. So the money comes in one door and it goes out to another door. That's actually how it works. So Social Security benefits are not being paid from a bucket, so to speak, the bucket of money that's just sitting out there. All right. so so why is this red zone of 10 years? Why is it so important? So it's so important because once you start getting to roughly about 10 years from retirement, this is the time where you want to start protecting your nest egg. You want to start protecting what you've built. So if you started working at, say, 25 and you started working, saving, and investing for your retirement, so that means by age 55, you have spent 30 years, right? You spent 30 years of saving up money, hopefully investing and putting money away. So you want to make sure that that money is what is there and it's enough for you to actually live in retirement. So if you are 10 years away, then you want to make sure that you are protecting the football, that you are protecting your nest egg, that you are making sure that you're not putting your money in jeopardy. So listen, guys, if you happen to be, like I said, in the red zone, and we're going to say if you happen to be roughly 55 or older, and if half or more than half of your money is sitting in the stock market, guys, you want to definitely listen up. Okay, you want to listen up. So as you are becoming more mature, as you're getting older, as you're getting closer to retirement, as your time horizon for retirement is getting closer and closer or shorter and shorter, you want to start making sure that you are protecting the monies that you have saved. How most financial advisors will tell you to do that is they will they will say, hey, the money that you have sitting in a 401k, a 403b, maybe even your Roth IRA 457, these are all retirement accounts. Okay, guys? And these are all accounts that people use typically to set aside money for retirement. So if you have your retirement money sitting in one of these accounts, this money is actually sitting in the stock market. Okay? That's where your growth is coming from. Now, everyone knows the stock market giveth and the stock market taketh away. And right now, at this particular time, the stock market is probably not where you want most of your retirement money sitting. Why? There's a little thing called tariffs. So we know there's been a lot of talk recently about tariffs, and we know tariffs are nothing more than when goods are brought into the company or imported into the company, their tariff is a tax on those goods. Well, the person who pays the tax is the one who is bringing the good in. So that means companies, corporations that are importing these products and goods, they're having to pay the tax. Well, guess what? What's likely to happen? It's likely to those tariffs are likely to show up in the price of those goods, right? Which means what? It means Inflation. And everybody knows inflation is not good. It's not a good thing for the economy. All right. So that's one reason why the stock market is someplace that you may not want to be right now. What else? Well, as anybody knows, the stock market hates uncertainty. If the stock market and the people, the market makers, market investors, institutional investors, if those guys can't really get a good read of what the stock market is doing, how government regulations and everything that the government is doing policy wise, if they can't get a good read on where the economy and the stock market is going up or down, they would rather sit on the sidelines. They would rather not have their money invested until they are in a better place of understanding what the stock market is going to do, up or down. So uncertainty is what? Not good. What else? What else we got? Well, lately, as everybody knows, Doge, Elon Musk, Trump administration has been talking about cutting spending. Cutting. And everyone knows, or should know, that one of the responsibilities of the government is the government actually borrows money, okay? And that monies that the government borrows is actually monies that is spent to help prop up and help to secure the economy. That's what that money is there for. It's there to make sure that there's enough spending that the economy doesn't stall, that it continues to grow. Well, again, we know that they've been talking about cutting monies, right? And so if they're cutting spending, what does that mean? Not good. Not good for me, not good for you, not good for the economy. So all of these things together means that the stock market right about now is probably not where you want to have the majority of your money. Okay? So you want to start taking some of your money off the table. You don't want to be gambling with your money. If you want to gamble, you want to gamble with the house money. You don't want to gamble with your retirement money. So what does that look like? Well, typically, like I said, as you begin to mature and as you get closer and closer to retirement, most traditional financial advisors kind of have this rule, and it's a rule of 110. Rule of 110. Well, what does that mean? It simply says that if you take 110 and you subtract your age, the number that's left is the percentage that is the maximum percent of monies you should have invested in the stock market. So in this example, if we said you are in the red zone and you are 55, that means that if you subtract 55 from 110, what you got left? 55. So 55, no more than 55% of your money should be in the stock market. Okay? Let me know if this is making sense, guys. Let me know if this is making sense. Okay? All right. So that's the rule of 110. So if you remember, I said earlier, if you have most of your money sitting in the stock market, or if you're 55 years of age and you got more than 55% of your retirement funds in a 401k, a 403b, a Roth, an IRA, or 457, or just a straight up brokerage account, then guys, listen, your money is at risk. And why do I say it's at risk? Okay. I say it's at risk because if you happen to, we know that the stock market, first of all, over the history, three out of every 10 years, 3 years will be negative. On average, if you look at the history of the stock market, every 10 years or so, 3 of those 10 years will probably be negative. Okay? It's just about a 30% chance. All right? So let me ask you this question. Right now, if you are 55 in the red zone, 55 or older, and you plan on retiring at what? At 65, okay? Then that means when you have stock market losses hurt you more than they help you. And what do I mean? If the stock market went down by 10% this year or next year or any year, right, between now and your retirement time, that means in order for you to be able to break even, you don't have to get 10%. You actually have to get 11% just to break even. What else? If you got 15% loss, you actually have to get a 17% gain to break even. And God forbid, if you lose 20%, you have to get 25% just to get back to break even. So guys, let me ask you a question. Let's say, for instance, right now you have $200,000 saved in your retirement, and it's all sitting in a 401k, 403b, Roth, IRA, 457. And we say that the stock market takes a 20% negative return this year, next year, or whenever. That now means that $200,000 that you had, now you only have 160,000. 160,000. Okay? So I ask you the question, can you afford to lose $40,000? Could you afford, if you were going to be retiring between now and the next 10 years, could you afford to lose $40,000 of your $200,000? If you had $400,000 and you lost 20%, right? Man, that's even worse. Now you're sitting at what, 20%? You're sitting at, what's that? 320,000. So that means you would have lost $80,000 if the market goes down by 20%. And so now you actually have to get a 25% gain just to get back to the $400,000 that you had. Okay? So you might be saying, okay, all right, okay, Alex, you're telling me, I hear you. You're telling me that the stock market, the economy, you're telling me that government policy and government spending is really erratic right now. Things are really up in the air and they're really uncertain. People are losing their jobs. There's probably going to be, there's probably going to be a housing crash here because people are losing their homes and losing their jobs, particularly in the Maryland, DC, Baltimore area, DC area. People are losing their jobs, right? People are having to go other places. We know that farmers who have been, who always have been relying on subsidies. Well, USA, guess what? USA gets cut. A lot of that money was going to farmers to buy food and subsidies to send overseas, right? So that spending that they keep talking about with US aid, that money was, some of that money was actually going to US farmers buying their goods and produce and sending it overseas. Guys, you have to look at the whole story. We have to look at the whole story, and we have to become a little bit more knowledgeable and a little bit more aware, not just reading the headlines and what they tell us. We have to start doing a little bit of study and understanding how these things are going to affect each and every one of us. So now, what does this mean for us? So this means if you said, hey, okay, Alex, I'm 55 plus, I'm in the red zone, I got too much of my money sitting in the 401k, sitting in the 403b, sitting in the stock market. Okay, I get it. All right, so where do I need to be putting my money? Well, what traditional financial advisors would tell you to do, they say, hey, Alex, you got too much money sitting in the stock market. We want to start taking some of that money out, start moving some of that money out. And what they will recommend is move some of it from stocks to bonds. That's the traditional approach. That's what they tell you traditionally. Okay. Now, that sounds good. That sounds cool, right? But why are they telling you to move your money from stocks to bonds? They're telling you to do that because, one, bonds are a little bit safer than stocks. Okay? And they want to, in some way, they realize that still having too much of your money sitting in stocks means that you are overexposed and potentially may have market risk, and they don't want to see you lose your money. Okay, so they at least are a little bit, they're at least honest in that way. But the reason why they're telling you to put your money in bonds is also because, not because it's a little bit safer, which is true, but it's also something that they can control and they can sell you. See, financial advisors, they actually get paid by AUM. And what that means is assets under management. So they tell you to move your money from stocks and put it into bonds. One, because bonds are safer, but number two, because they still get to control your money. It's not necessarily the best place. So, what am I sharing? So, what we have been able to do, guys, and we've been doing this for, I've been doing this for my clients for years now. And what we have been able to do is we realize that, yes, if you are in the red zone, you should be taking more of your money out of the stock market. But you don't want to put it into bonds. Here's where you want to put it. You want to put it in an account that grows tax-free, where you can get stock market returns, okay, without the risk of losing any money. Zero, zip, not a dime. Okay? What else? You want to put it somewhere like I said, where it grows tax-free. You never have to have the risk of losing it ever. Okay. So when stock market goes up, your value goes up. But when the stock market goes down, you don't lose a penny. You don't lose a penny ever. What else? You want to make sure that if something happens to you, if you get sick or hurt, you have long-term care. And guys, let me tell you, this is really important now because we know that they have been talking about doing what? Cutting Medicaid. Cutting Medicaid. And if you guys don't know, or if you're unaware, if you need long-term care, if you need to go to an assisted living facility, if you need to be in a nursing home, oftentimes though the cost of those things are so high, Medicare doesn't cover it. Health insurance doesn't cover it. The only thing that covers it is long-term care insurance, okay? And if you have money to pay for it out of pocket. And so that's the reason why so many people have to be caregivers to their parents or aging parents, because they cannot afford to put them in an assisted living facility. And guys, as you know, if you happen to still have children that you're taking care of, if you're still working, and now you have an aging parent or grandparent who needs your help, how can you possibly do all of these things? So this account allows you to do what? Make sure that you have long-term care, or that you have monies available that can be used for long-term care if you happen to become sick or critically ill or injured. Okay, what else? If you pass away, your family, there's money there that goes to your family to help take care of bills, final expenses. Okay, it can help take care of mortgage. It can help take care of living expenses, right? Depending on how much coverage you have. And it can also help you live comfortably in retirement without the fear of running out of money. That's what this account, secured tax-free account, does, guys. And you can't get any of that from the typical 401k, 403b, Roth IRA, 457. You can't get any of those things that the secured tax-free account actually provides you and gives you. And so what we've been able to do is we've had clients that have 200, 300, $500,000 that's sitting in a 401k, right? That 401k, they still have to pay taxes on this 500,000. They still got to pay taxes on that money. Not only that, this money is sitting in the stock market, so it's subject to being lost. Whereas with the tax-free account, I'm still able to get stock market returns without the risk of losing money. So we have clients that take 500,000, they'll take 250,000, and they'll put it in a secure tax-free account. Okay. And now they're still able to get stock market returns, and they never have to worry about losing a dime. The stock market goes up 6%, their account goes up 6%. Stock market goes up say right now, if you are age 55 or older and you have more than half of your money sitting in a 401k, 401k, 403b, a Roth, an IRA, a 457, guys, make sure you reach out to me and let me share with you how you're able to still get stock market returns with your retirement funds without the risk of losing money in the stock market, given just how uncertain, how volatile, how the government is cutting spending. We have no idea what the stock market is going to be doing over the next 1, 2, 3, 5 years. And of course, we know roughly about every 3 to 4 years, the stock market is, you're going to lose some money. And so the question is, do you want to take that risk for everything that you've built up until this point? And I know you're smarter, and I know you realize that you're playing a dangerous game when you keep all your money sitting in the stock market. So I want to encourage you, go ahead, click the link below, or put or comment retire in the comment section. Let us show you what a secure tax-free retirement account can do for you and how it can benefit you to make sure that you're able to live comfortably in retirement without the fear of ever running out of money. All right. So guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Hope you've learned something today. And I'd love to answer any questions that you have. Like I said, just comment retire or get in contact with me, and we'll show you what a tax-free retirement account can do for you. All right. Take care. God bless. We'll see you next time.